Hello everyone, and welcome to my Bold and Beautiful Today update channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Finn's rearmost case has a connection to the Forresters, and Thomas leaves Hope speechless. Thursday, December 28, 2023 moment on the Bold and the Beautiful. Steffi and Ridge remain concerned about Thomas and Hope. Thomas takes the coming step, and Finn's rearmost case realizes there's a lot the croaker does not know. In the Forrester design office, Finn refuses to allow Thomas to speak to Steffi in that tone. Thomas tells Finn that this doesn't involve him, but Finn says when he speaks to his woman, as he did it does. Finn is paged and has a new case staying at the office. Steffi tells Finn that she can handle this, so he takes off. Steffi takes a call from a supplier who's transferring their good wishes to Eric. Thomas comments it's amazing how Granddad has all this support from each over the world, and perhaps she and Finn could take all this concern for him and Hope and concentrate it on Granddad. He gets Finn is an only child and doesn't understand stock energy. Steffi notes Finn just wants to cover her like she wants to cover him. Thomas says he's happy and that should be enough. He wants to move past the miscalculations he made. Hope has moved on, so what can't she? Steffi is concerned that he'll peril his progress for Hope. Thomas doesn't see it that way. He sees the company is thriving, Douglas is succeeding, and he's in love. He's not asking for her to support him and Hope, just not to undermine his relationship. Steffi and Thomas design BB in Ridge and Eric's office. Hope assures Ridge that she knows Steffi is just guarding Thomas, but they've nothing to worry about. Ridge is upset and asks if she sees a future with his son. She suppositions she's in the hot seat with him now. Ridge wants to know if she's serious about Thomas, as he's serious about her. Plus, the last time this happened, it caused a lot of pain for his family, and he detests for history to repeat itself. Hope assures him everything is fine, so why can't that be enough? Ridge asks if she thinks it won't last, or if it will. Hope can't give him a guarantee, she allowed. She'd be with Liam for the rest of her life, and she's not. She doesn't know what the future holds. Ridge says Thomas thinks his future is with her, and asks if that's a possibility. Hope understands his enterprises, but this is between Thomas and her. Ridge and Hope talk. Thomas BB Steffi heads to see her pater. Ridge relays Hope was just then and she gave him an earful about Steffi speaking her about Thomas. Steffi is concerned about Thomas' passions for Hope, and that Hope doesn't want a future with him, which makes Thomas vulnerable. She knows Thomas wants him to support his decision, but this could end poorly for Thomas. She's authentically fearful for her family. Steffi and Ridge talk about Hope BB. Hope rejoins Thomas in the design office, and they bandy the lectures they both got. Hope understands where Ridge and Steffi are coming from as they're upset about him. Thomas feels they should be feeling the contrary. Her love and support have helped him become a new man. He says she's made him happier than ever and thanks her for that. She doesn't want this to beget pressure between him and his family, especially what with Eric's recovery. Thomas says he's just so thankful to be with her, kissing her, and he loves knowing she's always beside him through the good times and hard times. She has trusted him to grow into the man she deserves by her side. He again assures her that he's a one-woman man, and that's why he hopes she'll make him the happiest man in the world. He gets down on one knee, pulls out a ring, and asks Hope to marry him. Hope is stupefied. Hope and Thomas converse. BB Finn arrives at his office at the sanitarium and meets his rearmost case. Xander Avant enters, and Finn doesn't fate him or the name. Xander is in just for an periodic scan. He explains he's back from London after a many times. Finn asks what took him to London. Xander recalls Ridge throwing him out times ago after his part in covering up Beth's hijacking. Xander explains he just demanded time down from L.A. to regroup. As Finn directs him to the test room, Xander notices Finn and Steffi's marriage print on his office. Xander asks, "Are you married to Steffi Forrester?" Finn at his office. BB Finn asks if Xander knows his woman. Xander says he was an intern at Forrester. He worked with them all, including Thomas. The tone of Xander's voice leads Finn to ask if he has some history with Thomas. Xander flashes back to Thomas defying Xander and Zoe, saying Liam and Hope would be fine, and to keep quiet. Xander refocused out Emma wasn't fine, she was dead because of this. He also claimed that Brooke was upset about his and Hope's engagement and that this marriage would be grounded on a taradiddle. Xander asked Zoe what kind of life they were supposed to have with this always hanging over their heads. Xander Avon returns BB back in the present. Xander doesn't mean to be rude but feels this isn't a good fit. Finn asks if this is because of his family and ever Thomas. Xander warns him that Thomas isn't who he thinks he is. Xander says he's a man with no heart and no guilt. He stammers that Thomas did commodity evil to an innocent youthful girl. Xander recalls happier times with Emma and her being run off the road. Xander couldn't help but suspect the accident wasn't an accident back also, and recalls he brazened Thomas who advised him to keep his mouth shut. Xander asks Finn if he has heard the name Emma Barber. Finn hasn't and asks if she was an intern too. Did Thomas make effects delicate for her? Xander says worse than delicate, they're talking about murder. Ridge and Steffi pressure Hope to define her Thomas passions. Meanwhile, Hope Logan just wants space to make her own decision. The bold and the beautiful recap for Wednesday, December 27, 2023, both Steffi and Ridge put Hope on the spot regarding her passions for Thomas. Bold and the beautiful recap highlights. In addition, Steffi and Thomas argued about his relationship with Hope. Ridge and Finn participated, a gladdening moment. And has a new contest formed perhaps? Let's dig deeper into the details of what went down. Stock standoff in one corner, Steffi Forrester, the defensive family who tried to get an answer out of the woman Thomas was in love with. In the other corner was Thomas who didn't appreciate Steffi's unpleasant hindrance. After all, he's a overgrown borough man. Anyhow, Steffi kept coming at Hope, asking her if she was in love with her family. In fact, she wanted to know if Hope was ever going to be in love with her family. Because right now, she can't believe Hope will ever return his passions. Eventually, she stressed Hope's incapability to say those words to Thomas would mess with all the work he's done to ameliorate himself. Obviously, nothing wants to see Thomas helical reverse into that dark, compulsive place again. In kinder, gentler news, Ridge and Finn had a veritably nice discussion that ended in a gladdening clinch. Before this show of affection, the two talked about Eric's health. Eric was breathing on his own, getting stronger, and he was generally starting to feel more. That's all they could ask for. For his part, Ridge still second-guessed his decision to give in to everybody's pleas to go with Finn's experimental treatment. But, all in all, he was happy his pater was alive and showing incremental signs of enhancement. He honored Finn was the man who made this be. He was the man who saved his pater's life. Now all they demanded to do was stay for the results of the tests Finn lately ordered to see if Eric was truly on the right track. When Thomas asked Hope to leave him alone with Steffi, she went to go hide out in the CEO office. After Ridge entered the room, hope for a nanosecond of peace, went up in bank. Ridge incontinently put her on the spot. Still, he was less invasive and violent about it than his son. Hope simply wanted space to make a decision about her passions for Thomas. And she felt any violation of their boundaries would be mischievous to the process and would only lead to trouble. Well, it might be a little late for that sentiment, considering the heated discussion between Steffi and Thomas that grew more violent with every second. Steffi wasn't backing down and neither was Thomas. He felt Steffi didn't know what she was talking about. He was fine with Hope not saying those three all-important words. She doesn't have to yet, he knows there are passions of love there. What's more, Thomas didn't watch if his family supported his relationship or not. He just didn't want her working to destroy it. When Thomas raised his voice indeed further, Finn arrived and intruded the discussion. He yelled at Thomas to stop talking to his woman. Like that. Also the discussion morphed into a silent Finn/Thomas gawk down. Is there a new contest in City?